The House moved on a bill that would extend relief to many veterans who have been impacted by these toxic pits, these toxic burn pits. Now, it passed in the Senate a couple of months ago, 84-14, but there was an error in it, so they came back to fix that. Well, Republicans blocked this in the United States Senate. I mean, literally, it's DOA. It was 55-42. They would not vote for it. Now, here's what they claim. They claim that, so what happened here was McConnell said that if Democrats don't move on using reconciliation to raise taxes on the rich and deal with climate change, that they would support this bill. Well, what happened was the bill got passed in the House. Then Dems announced this deal with Manchin. Republicans got pissed off, so therefore they voted against this bill. Right now you even have Senator Susan Collins saying that because Democrats are going to put forth this bill to deal with climate change and taxes, that she's even saying Republicans may doom a bill to codify same-sex marriages. They're upset because Democrats are using their power. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Didn't they tell us elections have consequences? That when you win, you're in control? I did recall that that's what Mitch McConnell and others actually saying, right? I think so. Well, comedian Jon Stewart, he has been very much involved on Capitol Hill for quite some time on veterans issues. And he came to D.C. today. And when I say Jon Stewart went to the Reese Colbert School of Preparing for a News Conference, that's exactly what he did. Listen to this and I'm going to play all of it. I sent John an email saying, John, I'm playing all of this. Folks, listen to this 9-minute and 38-second response, what Jon Stewart had to say to these shameful and despicable Republicans who sit in the United States Senate.
So ain't this a bitch? Yeah. Yep. Ain't this a bitch? Yep. America's heroes who fought in our wars, outside sweating their asses off, with oxygen, battling all kinds of ailments, while these motherfuckers sit in the air conditioning, walled off from any of it. They don't have to hear it. They don't have to see it. They don't have to understand that these are human beings. Do you get it yet? Do we see that these aren't heroes? These are men and women, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, that we just let stand outside in the heat when they can't breathe. I'm going to read you something. This is beautiful. I'm going to read you something beautiful. You know what? I said a curse word, and I'm sorry about that. That was my fault. Let me say something beautiful. This is a tweet from Senator Rick Scott of Florida from yesterday. It's beautiful. And I'm sorry about the cursing, and let me say something beautiful to make it up to you. I was honored to join the USO today and make care packages for our brave military members in gratitude of their sacrifice and service to our nation. And there's a beautiful picture. I wish you could see it. He's standing with a little package. Did you get the package? I think it has M&Ms in it and some cookies and some moist towelettes. I don't even know, honestly, I don't even know what to say. I've been coming down here 10, 15 years. I'm used to the hypocrisy. Christina Keene will tell you from VFW. She sat in an office with Mitch McConnell and a war veteran from Kentucky, and he looked that man in the eyes and he said, we'll get it done. And he lied to him. Because Mitch McConnell yesterday flipped. I'm used to the lies. I'm used to the hypocrisy. Senator Pat Toomey won't take a meeting with the veterans groups. Sends out his chief of staff. I'm used to the cowardice. I've been here a long time. Senate's where accountability goes to die. These people don't care. They're never losing their jobs. They're never losing their health care. Pat Toomey didn't lose his job. He's walking away. God knows what kind of pot of gold he's stepping into to lobby this government to shit on more people. I'm used to all of it, but I am not used to the cruelty. They passed it. June 16th, they passed the PACT Act. 84-14. You don't even see those scores in the Senate anymore. They passed it. Every one of these individuals that has been fighting for years, standing on the shoulders of Vietnam veterans who have been fighting for years, standing on the shoulders of Persian Gulf War veterans fighting for years, Desert Storm veterans, to just get the health care and benefits that they earned from their service. And I don't care if they were fighting for our freedom. I don't care if they were fighting for the flag. I don't care if they were fighting because they wanted to get out of a drug treatment center or it was jail or the army. I don't give a shit. They lived up to their oath. And yesterday, they spit on it in abject cruelty. These people thought they could finally breathe. You think their struggles end because the PACT Act passes? All it means is they don't have to decide between their cancer drugs and their house. Their struggle continues.
This bill does a lot more than just give us health care.
Gives them health care, gives them benefits, lets them live.
Keeps veterans from going homeless, keeps veterans from becoming addicts, keeps veterans from committing suicide.
Senator Toomey's not going to hear that because he won't sit down with this man. Because he is a fucking coward. You hear me? A coward. And like I say, I'm used to it. But this type of cruelty on those that we say we hold up as our most valued Americans, then what are we? Pat Toomey stood up there, Patriot Pat Toomey, excuse me, I'm sorry. I want to give him his propers. I want to make sure that I give him his propers. Patriot Pat Toomey stood on the floor and said, this is a slush fund. They're going to use $400 billion to spend on whatever they want. That's nonsense. I call bullshit. This isn't a slush fund. You know what's a slush fund? The OCO, the Overseas Contingency Operations Fund, $60 billion, $70 billion every year on top of $500 billion, $600 billion, $700 billion of a defense budget. That's a slush fund, unaccountable, no guardrails. Did Pat Toomey stand up and say, this is irresponsible, the guardrails? No, not one of them did. They vote for it year after year after year. You don't support the troops, you support the war machine. That's all you care about.
He personally signed the proclamation to send me to war.
Boy, they haven't met a war they won't sign up for, and they haven't met a veteran they won't screw over. Yep. What the fuck are we?
Barbaric. It's barbaric.
And now they're going to go away. Pat Toomey says, I've got veterans groups behind me. I call bullshit. These are the veterans groups. VFW, American Legion, IAVA, Wounded Warriors, DAV, AMVETS. They're all here. This is the veterans community, Senator. They don't stand behind you. In fact, you won't let them stand in front of you.
He's a coward.
Cowards, all of them. Cowards, all of them. And now they say, well, this will get done. Maybe in the after we get back from our summer recess, maybe during the lame duck, because they're on Senate time. Do you understand? You live around here. Senate time is ridiculous. These motherfuckers live to 200. They're tortoises. They live forever, and they never lose their jobs, and they never lose their benefits, and they never lose all those things. Well, they're not on Senate time. They're on human time, cancer time. Don't you have families? Don't you have people who are deciding how to live their last moments? I know some of them. They've been down here advocating with us. They spent their remaining time advocating so that other soldiers didn't have to face the indignities and the depravity and the desperation that they faced. And none of them will hear it. And none of them care. Except to tweet. Boy, they'll tweet it. Can't wait to see what they come up with on Veterans Day, on Memorial Day. Well, this is the reality of it. I honestly don't even know what to say anymore, but we need your help because we're not leaving. These people cannot go away. I don't know if you know this. You know, obviously I'm not a military expert. I didn't serve in the military, but from what I understand, you're not allowed to just leave your post when the mission isn't completed. Apparently you take an oath. You swear an oath, and you can't leave. But these folks can leave because they're on Senate time. Go ahead, go home, spend time with your families, because these people can't do it anymore. So they can't leave until this gets done. Because these people will not give up, they will not give in, and they will not relent. This is an embarrassment to the Senate, to the country, to the founders, and all that they profess to hold dear. And if this is America first, then America is fucked.
Wow. I'll let Erica respond first because of your military service. He let it all hang out there, Erica.
All except for a few things. So all of those individuals that were back there did not represent all of veterans groups. The Black Veterans Organization, which is a Black-led organization that does do research, litigation, does storytelling that really tells the story of Black veterans. When you think about 2 to 3 million folks in this country are Black veterans, when you consider that 33% of homeless people, and we see that very easily here, handily in the DMV, are Black veterans. So I will have to say that, you know, the picture that most people get when they think about veterans is the picture that's before that you're showing on the screen now. That is not representative of all veterans. I also have to say that to the point about what the blockage, what Republicans stood together to ensure, because it wasn't the Senate, it was Republicans that actually made sure that this failed, that this did not go forward for veterans specifically, is that my partner and my boyfriend has served in Afghanistan. And so he was exposed to those toxins because there is no trash pickup. So everything is burned, everything is released in the air. So I am with him when he's up coughing all throughout the night and there's not a medication that he can take. It's something that's in his system. So as a person that is intimately involved with a person that's been exposed to these burn pits, and then for the question to be, well, why don't people go and just fill out the documents, fill out the paperwork for getting help? Well, then there are barriers there as well, which is why I would encourage people to go to blackveterans.org, that particular organization. When you look to see the barriers that Black veterans face when it comes time to seek to get those benefits, to seek to get help around these things that have happened on a very large scale, that you have folks that are in positions, doctors that are in positions. So now here we are talking about disparities again. And you see that claims that Black veterans make with regard to being exposed to toxins and the different outcomes as it relates to having been exposed to those toxins, the outcomes that they have, how those claims usually don't go through or go through at a much lower rate than white veterans. So there are all of these different systems that are in place that are repressive to Black veterans. And so I would say that when people think about Black issues, Black veteran issues are Black issues. So this is something that the Biden-Harris administration did put forward to say that we want to make sure that veterans do receive some level of relief, that we want to make sure that veterans do have expanded health care. But you have Republicans that are standing firm to say, we don't care, you don't, and we feel like you don't deserve it, and we're going to ensure that it's blocked, even if it's for people that look like us. So I would just say, as a person who is a veteran, a person who is from a family of veterans, someone who is intimately involved in veterans, that when we think about the issues that are, when we think about the fallout from this, I would love for everyone to intimately think about how this impacts not only the veteran community, but the Black veterans that are within the community as well.
Bottom line here is, Reese, we can look at a number of bills where Republicans have voted against veterans, and this is where, if you're Democrats, you should be hammering these fools in congressional districts, in Senate races. And as Jon Stewart said, they have no problem funding the war machine, but they don't care about those human beings who we also call soldiers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. First, let me thank Erica for that brilliant breakdown. I think you gave a lot more substance in that than even what Jon Stewart did in his 9-minute speech. Not particularly impressed by it, but I do hope to see all the people who get their panties in a bunch about me cussing every week. I hope to see all your comments in the comment section after this about how horrible it is. Because I can say in 1 minute, wrapping it up, from what Jon took 9 minutes to say. Republicans ain't shit. They ain't never gonna be shit. They don't give a fuck about anybody. They don't give a fuck about them, about veterans, children getting their heads blown off, Black people getting blown up getting shot in grocery stores, women, children, 10-year-olds getting raped and getting pregnant by their rapists. There's a whole list of things they don't give a fuck about. So this whole, if this is America, we're fucked. We've been fucked. I don't know where the hell Jon Stewart has been. But I do give him credit because that's something that's going to go viral and it's going to bring attention to how terrible Republicans are. But what he didn't say is that every damn Republican needs to be voted the hell out. At Toomey Odas, yes, he is retiring, but you got crazy ass Mehmet Oz in Pennsylvania. You got all kind of people up and down the ballot box that needs to be voted out in 2022 period. And so I would like to have seen him take that extra leap. But the bottom line is you can't make appeals to Republicans about the humanity of people, about logic, about, calling out hypocrisy, because they really just flat out don't give a damn. There's no reasoning with them. The only solution is to vote their asses out. And then the last thing I'll say, I do hope we'll get a chance to revisit a little bit of that conversation earlier about the Black survey, because I do have some comments on that. But if you don't want to revisit it, fine. But I wanted to put that out there. I would like to revisit a little bit of that.
Greg, the candidate who's running for the Democratic nomination for the United States Senate in Missouri, let's just say he's got a few words to say to Republicans. Lucas Kuntz, he followed. I didn't realize he was following me on social media, and he just sent me this DM, and I want to show it. This is what he just posted. Stationed in Iraq, I lived near an open air burn pit. Smoke filled the air all the time, and I had to run through it. To the Republicans who decided to screw veterans like me today, fuck you, every last one of you. I mean. Look, and the thing, and I know people who are watching and they're like, all that cussing. I know it's going to be somebody sitting here sending me an email saying the Lord is against cussing and all sort of stuff like that. I got you. That's fine. But here is the reality, Greg. We have to sit here constantly and watch these Republicans wave the flag and talk about first responders and the veterans, and they were trashing Kaepernick. How dare you disrespect the American military, the families, the Gold Star families? You won't even kneel. You punk asses won't even provide them the health care. And this is not just even on this. The folks with Vote Vets have been highly critical of them in the past when they have stood out against. And what they'll do is they'll trash any Democrat that's saying you're weak on the military, you're weak on defense. And then what they do is they force them into giving them more money to the Defense Department. I mean, hell, they added, I saw a story where Congressman Anthony Brown said in the committee, in the House Armed Services Committee, 30 or 40 billion was added above what Biden was asking for. He said wasn't even a debate. But they don't sit here and care about them when they come back. And this is truly shameful.
It would be shameful if there are any morals involved, but we know they're not. I mean, Erica laid it out. When they say military, they mean white nationalism. And they would spend all of your tax money. I mean, it's not going to improve. Your penis envy is real. And in the case of Mitch McConnell, the answer is very simple. Charles Booker. What did Gary Chambers tell you on this very program, Roland? I mean, it's enough people in Louisiana to send John Kennedy's punk Klan adjacent ass home forever. You've got to break their political backs. This is the last generation that's going to live in the United States of America that's majority white. In a couple of weeks, we'll be talking with Richard Kreitner on the Black Table here on the Black Star Network. He wrote a book. He's correspondent with The Nation magazine called Break It Up. He traces the history of the United States of America. The history of the United States of America is not unity, it is secession. The 13 colonies that our brother out of Houston, brother Al, has this bill for, those 13 colonies were British colonies. The first Africans were enslaved here by the Spanish a century before. But, when we think about Al Green's bill, it speaks to a nationalism that doesn't exist. The 13 colonies only agreed that they needed to get away from the British. And ever since that happened, people have been trying to get away from each other. And into this settler mess, Black people have no friends. Please understand, we have no friends. And you mentioned this at the top of the show, Roland. $280 billion Congress voted yesterday to invest allegedly in manufacturing and technological stuff to challenge China. Well, China is mining cobalt in the Congo right now, and lithium got at least 40,000 Black children, some of them as young as those kids we saw getting egged at Sesame Place, to get into this damn war they have with America. The only thing holds the United States of America together is its enemies. There is no such thing as United States of America. So you can't appeal to their patriotism. Jack Robinson, like our sister Erica, was a veteran. He said in his autobiography in 1972, I don't salute the flag and I can't stand for the anthem because I've never had it made. Jon Stewart, bless you. But let's be very clear. I don't give a damn. You can have that flag. You can have all that war talk that you think somehow is going to elicit some sense of solidarity. The White Nationalist Party only understands rule, and they are holding on for everything. So you need to stop waving flags and hiding behind uniforms. No, we got to go to war. We go to war every day. And a bunch of Black people, Black men come home from World War I, getting lynched in the streets, the Red Summer. Black people coming home from World War II. Black women and men got to watch their back overseas because half the time they get shot as friendly fire. Damn it. Stop pretending this is a nation and let us go to war. Break Mitch McConnell's Klan adjacent back. Break his back. Stop talking to these people. And guess what? You said that Bill Susan Collins, with her old dried up ass out of Maine, what Susan Collins said, it ain't just LGBTQ. It ain't just same sex. Do you know what else is in that legislation that she's saying? It's in trouble now. It's in trouble now. Interracial marriage. So those of you who like white boys, y'all want to marry one, guess what? That's a bill that they trying to pass to protect your right to do it. Because that Negro on the Supreme Court married to a white woman is eyeing that too. And his black ass be the first one they throw in prison. We ain't got no friends.
Folks, it's real simple. I keep telling y'all, and again, for all the people out here who saying, oh man, don't vote. I keep telling y'all, how do you change this game? Easy. Tim Ryan beats J.D. Vance in Ohio. Okay? It's real simple. Ryan versus Vance. You're likely going to have Mandela Barnes against incumbent Senator Ron Johnson, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin against the Republican incumbent Ron Johnson to bounce Ron Johnson's ass out of the United States Senate. Pat Toomey is retiring in Pennsylvania, but you got Mehmet Oz running against Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. Fetterman needs to beat him. You got Senator Rand Paul, incumbent Republican, running against former state Senator Charles Booker. Booker, turn out those poor white folks, black folks hit record numbers. Black turnout in Kentucky should be at 85, 90, 95%. maximize the numbers, bounce Rand Paul's ass out. Sherry Beasley running against Ted Budd in North Carolina. Elect Sherry Beasley. You got Representative Val Demings in Florida running against Marco Rubio. You've got in Louisiana, you got several people called in the jungle primary, but Gary Chambers Jr. has been out there against incumbent Senator John Kennedy as a sister who's running as well. I can't remember her name right now. I met her when I was at Essence in New Orleans. But the bottom line is this here, folks. They got to go. They got to go. I'm telling you right now, if you have a Senate that's 55-45 Democrat, 56-44, 57-43, trust me, you have a much better shot at things getting done. But as long as it's a 50-50 game, I'm telling you, you're not going to have stuff done. As long as you have Manchin and Sinema who are in control, holding that power, it's not going to change. And so, again, play games if you want to. Georgia, don't mess around, Georgia. Let me be real clear, Georgia. These white folks are going to vote for that idiot Herschel Walker. They do not care. They want power. They want to take down Mark Kelly in Arizona. They want to take down the Democratic senator in New Hampshire, as well as the one in Arizona. They want those seats. Those 4 must be held by Dems. You must pick up others. And again, I love these people who pose, man, you ain't nothing but out here shilling for Democrats. Let me repeat. Republicans blocked the bill when it came to voting for health care for the veterans. It was nearly every Republican who voted against the National Remembrance of Slavery Day. It was every Republican except one who voted against the domestic terrorism bill after 10 black people were gunned down in Buffalo. It was Republicans who voted against price gouging at the gas pump in the House. It was Republicans who voted against lowering insulin prices in this country. So y'all can kiss my ass with all that, you shilling for the Democrats. Here's what I do know. And let me be real clear. I got issues. I put them on the table. You heard Alicia and Mondale lay out the issues that black folks get. I got issues. But what I do know is we gonna have some real issues if them fools in charge. If y'all ain't read that Axios report about what these conservative think tanks are, they literally are plotting the coup right now.
Absolutely.
The plan of action that they have for if Donald Trump wins in 2024, if y'all thought them 4 years he was president was crazy, what they have planned is bonkers compared to what you saw for 4 years. But y'all go ahead and keep playing these games. I'm not saying you don't challenge Ryan, Barnes, Beasley, Demings, Booker, and all the candidates on your issues. But what I am saying is, go ahead and play games. Go ahead and play games, and you see what these fools have planned for black people if they get back in charge. It ain't gonna be pretty. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?